Welcome back to Simple Human Design. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to be talking about the emotional authority. So, the authority in the human design system is your unique decision making process. And actually, maybe I shouldn't say unique because 50% of the population actually have emotional authority. Now, if we were really going to dive deep into your chart specifically on a reading, I would be able to tell you a little bit more about your emotional authority, how it's created, because I look at, how your solar plexus has been defined, and using the rest of your chart, I can help you to understand a little bit more about that emotional authority. But as an authority, just, me talking to you, and I can't see your chart right now. If your emotional authority, I don't know how it's defined, and I don't know, how things work for you. Some of the other things that I look at as well is whether your solar plexus is unconsciously defined or consciously defined, which can have a really big effect on your actual lived experience as well of your emotions. And without seeing this, I can't really, sort of dive deep into that authority. Another thing that really affects it as well is whether you have your sacral defined, whether you have your spleen defined, and also just what else you have defined in your chart as well. And yeah, without seeing this, how can I really, explain the emotional authority? Well, if we just strip everything back and we just come back to, the very basic sort of idea of an emotional solar plexus authority, the very basics of it is that you are not designed to make decisions in the moment. So there is no truth in the now for you. And that is your mantra. That is literally how you are, going to be living your life. If you do, if it's correct for you and if you do want to follow that, there is no truth in the now. And I always say, with a lot of people and a lot of, authorities as well, and the way they make decisions, that actually the authority or the decision making process in human design actually is for the big four decisions that you make across your lifetime. What do I mean by the big four decisions? So generally this is this is things like who you're going to be loving, who you're going to be with, right? So your partner, etc. So making a decision about, sometimes when you go on a date, that's a little bit different because that's a little, that's just a little thing. But when you get further down the line, it's like, okay, decisions of, whether you want to be intimate with this person, decision of whether you want to marry this person, whether you need to get divorced from this person. All of these decisions are, important. Also who to bond with as well, so who to be friends with and who not to have in your life anymore. These are big decisions as well that you'll want to use your authority. What to do for work, of course, this is really important. This is your life's purpose. This is like how you want to receive money and how you want to serve the world as well. And also the last one is, and I always forget this one. So it's who to bond with, who to love, where to do for work, and also where to live, basically, as well. So it's a decision to move house, a decision to move, country, state, province, whatever it is. And these four big decisions are the decisions that you will need to use your emotional authority on every single time without fail, because you will find if you do not use your emotional authority, if you make sure you're sleeping on it, then that means that whatever decision that you come to about those four big things is going to be as close to the right decision as you can possibly get. Now, with emotional authority, I do actually have to put a little bit of a caveat in here as well, in that you may never reach 100% clarity with your decisions. So you might actually go through life just having clarity about yourself, yes, but just always kind of like wondering whether there's that little part of you that actually should choose something slightly different in that moment, in that decision making process. And I want you to know that that is okay. If you reach 70% or 80% clarity and you kind of more or less know that this is what you want to go for, then this is, perfect for you. And you can surrender to the fact that, yeah, you're not going to be like really, really, really clear on it. You're not going to be like so damn clear that, you know that this is going to be like the best decision ever. Now, let's talk a little bit about using your emotional authority in everyday life. Because, I've spoken about the big things, the big sort of like decisions that we make, like who to love, who to bond with, where to live, and what to do for work. But what happens when we're just going through our lives and, we have to make a decision of whether we want to work with a client or not, whether we should, do a reel or not, whether we should try Pinterest out or not. So essentially, if you have emotional authority and maybe you've had a conversation or you've had a little bit of an inkling that you want to do this in your business, or you want to, work with this person that's come and had a call with you, then I want you to use your own version of you, right? Because I'm not here to tell you, how to make decisions. I'm only here to guide you in that, maybe you can try this, maybe you can experiment with that. So what I would love to see every emotional authority person do is actually to take time to make a decision about whether they want to work with that client and whether they want to do, something in their business. And really that is because of that sort of like beautiful emotional kind of intelligence and emotional intelligence that you guys have. Because what's actually happening when your body is making a decision is that you are actually taking a 360-degree look at all possibilities in the situation. Now, when I say that, that kind of seems like a little bit of a mind thing. I think it feels like that's a bit of a thinking thing going on, because obviously we're in this society where we have like overthinking happening, and we're always, like the anxiety is there and we're overthinking decisions and all this sort of stuff. If you move your mind away from, decisions just for a moment, what's happening behind the scenes, you won't feel it, you won't know it. Actually, you may feel it because it's an emotional wave, but what's happening when you're making a decision is your body is taking a 360-degree look at all the possibilities, and it's coming to a conclusion that is probably going to be best for you. And, remember that it's not 100% clarity, okay? Although the 100% clarity could potentially come, along with whatever else you've got defined in your chart. So if you're splenic, for example, if you have your spleen defined, for example, you might be, you might have that really deep knowing that this is, the perfect client to work with. This is, like, oh, Pinterest, it just sounds so amazing. I just really want to do this. So yeah, we just need to make sure that, we're not making decisions in the moment if we're emotional authority, but, the decision that we are making, if it's quite small, we need just a little bit of time. So when you're deciding about where to live, you might actually have to spend weeks or months deciding whether you want to move or not, if you have the ability to. Obviously, we don't always have the potential in our lives to, have the time to make these decisions. But when it comes to the smaller decisions, just take time, just sleep on it. If you've had a client call and they really want to sign up with you and you're on the call in the moment and you're there and it's wonderful and they've seen you and, everything's magnetic, you could actually just say to them, just something around, they might know about human design anyway. So, it might just be, hey, I'm emotional authority. I'm gonna sleep on this. I absolutely love this. I think we're amazing, but I'm gonna, come back to you in the morning. Or you could just say something like, you know, you can make them feel really good and just say, well, actually, I don't have any capacity in my business right now. However, if you give me 24 hours, I'm going to move a few things around for you. And I'm going to, you know, talk to my VA about like, you know, outsourcing something else in my business. And I'll come back to you tomorrow when I know that I've definitely got that capacity. So you can make it into a positive thing. Like sometimes if you just say to someone, oh yeah, this is really awesome, and then say, actually, I'll let you know tomorrow, might be a little bit of a downer. Which is why I think that everybody should know about human design, because yeah, if you just say to someone, I'm emotional authority, I'll let you know in the morning, there's nothing else that they can do or say, because they know that it is that subconscious sort of like, you know, feeling that's, you know, going to happen with you. So that is my little sort of rant or in the moment sort of like help for you if you're an emotional authority person. I hope it's kind of inspired you a little bit to remember that your emotional intelligence is so amazing, and you know, making decisions in the moment really, really is not good for you at all. Is quite detrimental, in fact, if you make decisions in the moment. So yeah, do whatever's right for you, of course. You know, because you might be sitting there thinking, oh, Charlie, like I can make a decision about which client I want to work with because I've already had this process of, you know, seeing their application and, you know, actually talking to them in the DMs, and maybe I've met them on a call, you know, on a networking event anyway. So therefore, when I get to that bit when I'm having the client call, I don't need to use my emotional authority because I've already kind of like, you know, worked on it and kind of seen that, yeah, this is a person I really want to work with. So you do you, but I hope that this inspires you to make sure that you don't make decisions in the moment. So thank you very much for joining me on Simple Human Design, and I will see you on the next episode.